Salvē, Mika, and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at John chapter 4, verse 24 to keep alongside our Greek. But first, last time in John chapter 4. So, noticed, as I was preparing earlier today, forgot the S. Funny that. Also, find it really weird. Two different types of paper in this. I printed this stuff almost a year ago, and I don't remember if I noticed that there was different paper. It's really weird. Anyway, there's that. Here's a rubric. Everything we're looking for as we go through the text. Let's go ahead and get started. Spiritus est Deus, et eos qui adorant eum in spiritu et veritate apportet adorare. That's as far as we're going to make it. I know really short, but oh well. So, spiritus, we have that US right there. This is, of course, from spiritus, spiritus, the noun. And that's going to be a nominative singular masculine or a genitive singular masculine. And then there are, of course, other options because this is a fourth declension where it gets into the plural, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about that because of est. Est, of course, we know is our third person singular. I'm not going to parse it. Deus there with the US. Also, I'm not going to parse because we've seen it so many times. So, with est and deus being nominative, nominative makes the most sense right here rather than the genitive. A dative would be an option with the word in a different form because ests can also work with datives in addition to prepositional phrases. So, no, not genitive, nominative. And this is just a simple statement. Could say, Spirit is God. But what makes more sense is to go with how the Greek treats it, as we know that Jerome, in his translation of John, he really likes to match the order of the Greek as much as possible, even if the Latin might otherwise be a little bit different. And honestly, in this case, I don't know. I don't remember whether or not the subject of a Latin predicate sentence comes first or second. Yeah, but it's Latin being so close to Greek and so many other things, I think it would make sense for it to be this type of sentence to work the same, where the subject is the second word. So the second nominative. God is spirit. And eos, which is from is, ea, id, but that's not our verb, so qui, relative clause right there. Adorant would be the verb of the relative clause. We already know with nt. It's going to be a third person plural. Adoro, adorare. That a right there, we know this is going to be present tense. It's active, of course, and indicative. So that doesn't help us with our main clause. Eum in spiritu et veritate apportet. Here is our verb with the et. It's going to be a third person singular present, active, and indicative, as we've seen before with this verb. And we know also from the previous times that we've seen it that it wants to take an infinitive for its object, and then that infinitive it will want to have a accusative subject in a sort of indirect statement. So we have our infinitive with adorare, re right there, it's present, active, and infinitive, which then would mean that eos, with that omicron sigma there, an accusative plural, masculine will be our subject. So then we have, and it is necessary for those to adore or to worship. And then we have a relative clause to explain who eos is. So qui is going to be a nominative plural to match the plurality of eos, and it is, of course, masculine with adorant. Then eum is the confusing bit here, as it was also in the Greek. Eum could be going with adorant as its verb, or adorare as its verb, because adorare, in addition to taking an accusative subject, wants also an accusative object. So then, what we need to ask ourselves is, what does word order in Latin tell us? So the standard word order, at least, sorry about the shaky cam again, standard word order that I'm used to seeing, except in the Bible, of course, and how I was taught, is that normally we start with any temporal or otherwise adverbs, and we have our subject followed by the indirect object followed by the direct object, then prepositional phrases, and then finally the verb acting as a period is the most general type of sentence. And it's by no means a hard rule. It's very, very loose. So then, if we understand that is correct, and I think Greek is a similar word order, then eum, if it were part of this clause, would make more sense to appear before autoron. But since it doesn't appear before autoron, it fits better in this other clause where we've got subject, direct object, prepositional phrases, or phrase really, and then verb to finish. So I'm going to assume eum goes with the second clause, but it doesn't have to. So, and so that eos makes sense with aportet for those who worship, and I'm going to set this off by commas, and then eum, accusative, there we go, singular and masculine, him being God, in spiritu, our prepositional phrase right there, in is clearly taken with that you, a ablative, and spirit is of course a singular and, as we said, masculine. Et, this could be connecting a different clause or rest of the prepositional phrase. Clearly it's the rest of the prepositional phrase because we have this veritate with that e for also ablative. Prepositional phrase closes there. This is also going to be singular, but this case it is a feminine. It's a tas, tatis, feminine. So him in spirit and in truth. It is necessary. And there we go. And taking a look at the beginning of verse 25, so dicit here, melior, we clearly have a change, so that means that Jesus is done speaking and we can close our quotes. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good day. Wale.